Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Derek. So today I'm going to be doing some sound design. It's a game which I screen captured and then just redid the sound for educational purposes, as you can see. So I'll be putting the sound to this everything. So here it is. When it comes to sound design, it's usually good to start with the ambience, the natural ambience, because that's what comes in before everything. When we go outside, you get to hear the natural ambience before you put yourself in that. Dogs barking, neighbors' dogs. Just going through my sounds, which I have pre-selected. I've saved some sound just for the purpose of this tutorial. Just go through them. So here's my nature ambience, because the scene, as we can see, our character is looking outside at the trees and suburban environment where there's just trees and birds, nature. So that's what I'd like to start with, the environment. Give you the environment. So as you can see, this is my environment more or less set, and I'll do my EQs. I like to do my EQs as I bring the sounds in, and just EQ helps to place the sounds. And with that placement, I mean how further is it or how close is it. You use your EQ to get those effects. As you can hear, sound has been pushed back further, or just EQ. I love my subtractive EQ. You can tell with that bit of EQ that the sound is coming along nicely. Just fiddling with my EQ, taking out the highs and increasing the level. That's how subtractive EQ works. You take out and then you boost level wise. But now my sound is nice and tucked. I'll come back to it later just to put it with everything, but for now I'm happy with what's going on. Now put on the dogs. It's a neighborhood, suburban neighborhood. You're likely to find dogs barking. Some dogs barking, but that's just to add more to the scene, more to the ear, like give you ideas. As I'm going to automate that, because in post, what you want to do is automate your levels. You don't want to mess with the faders, because you will constantly keep on messing with the faders. But with an automation, you can really just nudge things where they need to be louder, softer, just with the whole placement. As you can see my automation there. Not going to do much with the EQ. I'm just going to just kind of tuck in those highs, so it sounds like the dogs are a bit more further. I know the volume, you can hear that. I know that the volume automation helps with that, but EQ for me does that the most. You can just tuck things nicely, tuck in frequencies that you don't want. But mostly my volume automation is what I like to mess with a lot, because I have more control there than the fader. As you can see now, the scene is basically coming along nicely. You can hear the background sound, you can hear the dogs. We've now just created the ambience, the setting of the scene. think it sounds okay for now. We can add more texture, traffic, more residential information with our sounds. So I'm throwing in now just to try and add more residential info so you can relate, because we all stay in residential areas. The sound has some traffic there and some of the birds, some of that natural ambience is there. But what I'm really looking for is the cars in the background. That's what I'm looking for, and I'll just do my trick, putting a low pass just to take away all the highs. As you can see, just me low passing. Now you can hear the traffic. Putting everything else together now. You can basically hear something's cooking. That all the parts are kind of coming along nicely. You have the birds, because this looks like a residential area with trees and vegetation, and our birds are there. And now you can hear the traffic, distance traffic coming on, and the neighbors' dogs. So these are things that you need to consider when you're doing your sound design. And my EQ, as you can see, still just trying to cut out some of the lows. But you can hear that traffic feel going on. Traffic. So as you can see, with just 3 sounds, I've managed to create an atmosphere and just give you detail, residential detail as to what's going on with the character. I haven't put the phone on, I haven't put the footsteps and all the other stuff, but I'm sure all of this now kind of makes sense. Now, as you can see, I'm back with my surgical knife doing my automations. I like to play with automation. They give me more control. Push things further in front. So in post-production sound design, what's really essential after you have your sounds, as you can hear, we now have the basis, the atmosphere. We can now set it up.